Fra un attimo vi parlerà una persona straordinaria, Shlomo Ben Ami. Shlomo Ben Ami è vicepresidente del Centro Internazionale di Toledo per la Pace ed è stato ministro nel governo Barak. Ci dirà delle cose che vorrei che ascoltaste con particolare attenzione, perché ci racconterà della storia dell'umanità. Per questo, signori, sto per lasciarvi per ben 21 minuti una misura di tempo ben pigiata, scossa e traboccante per chi la sa ben utilizzare, a un ospite particolare, Shlomo Ben Ami.
I think it all starts with childhood. I was brought up in what was then an international city in Tangier. Tangier was a city of expatriates, of romantic exiles, of political exiles. In fact, my house was shared by Jews, Arabs, Christians, families that were exiled from the Spanish Civil War, a topic that later on I wrote a PhD dissertation about in Oxford. When I had to go to school as a kid, it was 500 meters away, I crossed several cultural lines within 500 meters. So that was the nature of a very peaceful city where one could learn the lessons of coexistence. In Israel, as a young man, as a young scholar, I participated in many NGOs that worked and struggled and called for an Arab-Israeli reconciliation, Palestinian-Israeli reconciliation. Then, after a chapter as ambassador in Madrid, I came to realize that there is life beyond academia. And I was drawn into politics. And I was very fortunate to be able, in that short period of 6 years, to participate in the attempt to reach an Israeli-Palestinian peace. This encounter between the biblical memories of the Jews, their pioneering ethos. The Jews are the Israelis are a very interesting mutation of the Jewish genius into something which is different than the traditional Jew. We excelled in the two fields that Jews never excelled in the diaspora, warfare and agriculture. And this is how the Israeli myth was built. And this clashed with the Palestinian ethos of dispossession and their longing for the return to the olive tree and to the village now in ruin. This clash is a reflection of one of history's most difficult conflicts to solve. I would like to believe that as a negotiator, I try to extricate myself, to extricate yourself from the cage into which you were thrown by the zeitgeist of your society. If you cannot go under the skin of the other, there's no way you can come as close as possible to defining a line which is always precarious and fragile between your positions and the position of the other. I understood that the sense of the Palestinians about a cosmic injustice makes it practically impossible to reach a negotiated solution. Because the Palestinians have had over the years the tendency, more than to look for a solution, to look for justice. And tragically, justice and peace do not always coincide. And whenever you come to what you believe is a solution, it eludes us. They would avoid taking the decision because, admittedly, there is no political solution that could do full justice to the Palestinian tragedy. The political systems of both the Palestinians and the Israelis, more than a vehicle to conflict resolution, they are an obstacle. So maybe the whole idea of statehood is artificial and not very natural. With the Egyptians, it was, a real estate business. We gave away a piece of land and we got back a piece of paper, which is okay. With the Palestinians, it's about millenarian certificates of ownership. And being non-tangible, they are more difficult to solve. the Palestinians are being asked to give us moral legitimacy, to have a say in Jerusalem, to have a say in the holy sites. And when we failed after the peace process, we lost the elections, I felt that I am becoming a politician. Because after all, what is the essence, what is the meaning of our life if we succumb to a state of denial of our vocation? And my vocation was the same that brought me into politics, and when I left politics, went back to the same channels of activity where perhaps our voice can be heard. Politics is not the main or the exclusive focus where the global agenda is being defined. This is an era where non-political organizations are having an impact they never had before on the definition of the global agenda.